Good afternoon. I'm Moria, your BEYA Stars and Stripes STEM Career Day and Student Ambassador. Today's guest speaker is Dr. LaRico Treadwell, CEO of E4 Power Consulting, here to share his insights and story of success in STEM. But before we get to his fascinating journey, let me bring up my fellow student ambassadors, Mimi, Joy, Hope, and Savannah to share their thoughts on today's opening topic, mental health.
Good morning, fellow ambassadors. I'm Joy Pagan, and today I'm introducing our discussion topic, mental health. It's a trending topic among today's students. What are your first thoughts when you hear the term mental health? Go ahead, Moria.
Uh, Good afternoon, Joy. Some things I think of when I think of mental health is the meditating girl emoji. I think about taking time to um, go to therapy or going outside, meditating, relaxing, whatever calms you down.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. Mental health, when I hear that term, I think of wellness. I think of being present with yourself, being present with the world, and just living life in a positive manner. Mimi, what are your thoughts? What do you think?
When I think about mental health, I also agree with you being one with your mannerisms and everything. But at the same time, you have an even balance with work and school. But at the same time, you personally as a being is able to complete all the tasks that you need without having to worry about overall being stressed out or unbalanced in a sense. So pretty much overall having a good head on your shoulders and making sure that you personally are doing okay mentally while you're going out and doing other things.
For sure.
To add on to what Mimi said, I agree when you said like with wellness and everything. I feel like for me personally, it's really important to like take time for yourself and invest in yourself. I feel like that's what I think of when I think of mental health.
I totally agree with everything you guys are saying. When I think of mental health, I kind of think of like how you have to like either restart your computer or restart your iPhone and give a little update. I think people like to restart when something bad happens or they get overwhelmed. But I personally feel like we should restart when we wake up, restart when we are just going about when nothing bad even happened. Just like, where are we right now? What can I do? What kind of breakthrough I need? Like, where is my mind at? So it's kind of like a little update. I feel like just keep updating myself. And one thing I like to do to check on mental health is ask myself questions. Like, I'm just like, Hope, where are you at? Hope, what do you need? You know?
Mm-hmm.
What are the biggest mental health challenges do you guys think in our generation?
Social media
Why?
addiction, social media addiction. It can be a
Actually, I can adhere to that. I wake up and I'm on TikTok. That's the first thing I do.
I think
Everyone
that's
does.
interesting because, in my opinion, I feel like social media in some way has helped my mental health. Like,
Really?
really.
especially TikTok, because a lot of kids, they're going through things as college students that I go through, and seeing like they're like having to push through, and they're just open about it. It makes me feel like, hey, Hope, you're okay. You're okay to feel this way right now because you're not the only one feeling this way. So sometimes I feel connected. I feel like, hey, this is life, and I got this.
I
I
kind
think. Oh, sorry.
of
Go ahead, Savannah.
Thank you. I agree with what Hope said because for me personally, with social media, it's like it's addicting. I'm not gonna lie that it's not addicting because I'm on TikTok too, but it's like for me, I gain inspiration. So if I'm lacking like inspiration for something or I'm like, oh, like I want to do something, but I don't know, like I don't feel like doing it. Like I'll go on TikTok and see someone else doing it and I'm like, that's my sign that I should be doing it too. So I feel like it's kind of a motivator in a way. But at the same time, there's that other side to it where it's like, the not so great side. So I can see both viewpoints.
Savannah's right. Like, there's definitely Savannah, Maria, and Hope. There's definitely two sides of TikTok. I mean, not the TikTok, social media. I just said TikTok because that's literally the only one I use at this point. But um, You guys, your perspectives are 100% accurate. I mean, there's two sides of social media. There's a beneficial side, whereas you can learn. Wrote a whole research paper literally from TikTok because it taught me how to write one. Because my teacher wasn't good, so I went to TikTok to be able to. I was like, how to write a research paper, and I got step by step details of how to write it. So it's definitely beneficial. I mean, you see other students working and achieving their goals as well, which wants to push you. What Serena said, but I think it also does have its disadvantages, like Moria said. The addicting process of it. I mean, TikTok is addicting. We're constantly being shown things that we like to see because they have our data and everything like that. So it's harder to get off of it. Um, I think a disadvantage from my point of view is also comparing yourself to others. When you see pretty girls on there, I start feeling insecure. I don't know about y'all, but I just be like, oh God, I need to look like them. I need to get in the gym. Like that's literally what I be saying. So I definitely see both sides. Last question. So, what is it important to be aware of when it comes to your mental health? Like, what should you actually? I'm going to change this question a little bit. So, what are some things you do in your personal life when you guys feel stressed out that helps your mental health? Go ahead.
I eat ice cream. I eat ice cream. Yep.
Yeah.
Food always helps.
That is my go-to. It's like, but ice cream is a metaphor to say I give myself a chance to just have fun and relax, and ice cream helps me relax. You know, I put my favorite show Friends on, and I enjoy those couple like that. I take like probably 20 minutes to eat my ice cream because I eat it slowly to cherish it. But after 20 minutes, that's my restart. I'm back in the game.
I respect that. I love that. Ice cream. I feel like me personally, my form of like a restart is kind of watching like childhood shows. Like I'll also get like my favorite hit snack, but then I'll go on like maybe 1 or 2 hours just like rewatching some of my old favorite like shows on Nickelodeon and like Cartoon Network that isn't like streamed anymore, unfortunately. So I'll watch it on YouTube, but it kind of helps me like I guess calm down and like just like kind of it's the nostalgia behind it too. So it's like, man, those are like the good years.
Yes.
Yeah. For me, I like to, when I'm stressed in school, I like to take a break and I like to go outside, spend some time in nature. I have a almost perfect attendance record, but on those days I'm feeling really stressed, I just don't go to class and I sit outside on campus on the bench and just listen to the birds sing. It's really relaxing.
I agree with what Moria said too. Like sometimes, like don't like skip class like every day. Like that's a bit crazy. But like if you want to take like a day off or like not go to a certain like period class because you feel like you just can't do it that day, you're not going to be putting out your best work or like your best foot forward, then I definitely feel like take that day for yourself or like take that those like 40 minutes, 20 minutes for yourself because those 20 minutes can be so important. It could be the difference between you like doing like crashing out on like a test and like doing really good. Like it can be that different. So I feel like if you need to take it, then take it.
I
Yeah.
definitely
I 100% agree. Um, what I do is definitely go outside. I'm connected to nature a lot, but I've also started like new hobbies. Like I do Pilates now. I try to do it every morning, and it has helped me kind of get my mind right for the day. Like I find myself becoming more motivated to get my work done. My mind will be completely relaxed as I'm doing Pilates. Uh, I do love watching Friends and eating ice cream. Me and Hope fight over which ice cream cup has the most. So definitely.
That's so real though.
Hello. So I love talking to you guys about this and hearing y'all's thoughts about this. To any student who is stressed out, I will say to you, keep going, take it day by day, and you will get through it. Moria, back to you.
Well, thank you, ambassadors, for this lively discussion. Viewers, I hope we gave you something to think about today. Now, here's Mimi with today's special guest, Dr. Treadwell.
Thank you so much, Moria, and thank you so much, ambassadors, for that awesome discussion on mental health. I enjoyed it so much, and I hope you guys did too. Um, my name is Mimi, and I am a high school senior, and today I will be talking with Dr. LaRico Treadwell. Thank you so much for joining us.
Greetings. I'm happy to be here today, and I welcome the opportunity to speak to you as well.
Thank you so much. Could you please talk to us about your STEM career?
Oh, absolutely. And I also have slides that I'll also be able to depict a little bit more. Throughout my whole STEM career, one of the things that's been very prevalent is the title of what you currently see in my slides is how to effectively go from the underrepresented to the representative in academics and professionalism. And I think that's one of the titles and branding that has helped me throughout my entire STEM career, as well as my professional career now in running my own company, which is E4 Power Consulting. So if you actually go to the next slide, I can control it. But the biggest thing about my STEM career is I always try to figure out what motivates me. So I always put this slide up, especially when I'm giving a talk, like what motivates you? Like every topic, every conversation, every time you go to class, go to school, take a break, do a spring break, X, Y, Z. What motivates you? Like what motivates you to go to the place? What motivates you to finish? And every single time, if you ask yourself that question, you'll see that you constantly have a different answer based on your circumstances and what's around you and what's going on. So with that being said, my journey in science started in basically when I was in 2006 at the University of Mississippi. So, and I have several slides to show that, but at the University of Mississippi, I was obviously one of the first top three, but definitely first Black to obtain a BS chemistry degree from the University of Mississippi. Throughout that, I was able to be awarded several programs like the Ronnie McNair Scholar, the AGM Scholar. I went on and pursued my PhD at the board of at the LSU University, Louisiana State University, where I had numerous conference journals and papers there, and I was also a Board of Regents Fellow. I continued to pursue my STEM career next at Sandia National Lab as a postdoc, where I did publish numerous papers and got numerous patents under my mentor. I've went on and ran my own research group where my group has excelled in many different ways and is constantly growing year by year to where we're always looking at new science, new innovation, developing new materials, developing new devices, all different types of engineering activities. So just a little bit about my background. I was born and raised. I'm from Mississippi. I was born and raised in Mississippi, a very small town. And I always bring this up because this is the biggest thing of why I was able to pursue STEM and able to leverage what motivates me. Like the biggest store I had in my town was a Walmart. Like we all used to go to Walmart every day. You go to Walmart, you knew you're going to see probably half of the town, really. So that was the biggest store we had in our city. At that particular time, and I attended the university, the Sapano School District, where I really got a chance to get several mentors there, and the teachers that groomed me instilled good study habits. They kept my interest, they stayed on top of me, and they provide avenues for me to continue to study. So during that transition from high school to going to the University of Mississippi, it was like what motivated me. My surroundings motivated me to pursue STEM. My surroundings motivated me to look around my community, my family, and be like, hey, I want to pursue STEM. Like I want to go into something and have a PhD, a doctor in front of my name and title. So that what motivated me at that particular time. Upon the University of Mississippi, like I said, I was able to get into hydrogen fuel cells, cars, and be able to do that was first research I was exposed to and get my PhD in pursuing science and STEM career. So that was my earlier stage of research. And throughout that, I graduated my BS chemistry degree from Ole Miss. This is what motivated me. This slide right here is what motivated me and kept me going positive, as in the first, why? Nobody in my major at the time. I dared to be different. I wanted to continue to knock down barriers, open doors for others. I was the first in my family to attain a STEM degree. So at the bottom of the slide is one of my first quotes: "If not me, then who?" And that's one of the things that has resonated with me even to this day in my career. It's not if not me, then who. So that what continuously motivates me, time and time again. One of the biggest things that motivated me again when I was at the University of Mississippi is a pivotal moment in my life at the University of Mississippi is when I actually had a moment during the LSU Ole Miss game that changed my life and led me to my company that I actually run in today. And this is one of the moments, which is a rally that happened at the University of Mississippi at that particular time. So if you're talking about mental health and the things that you go through, there was a pivotal moment for me in my undergraduate studies upon finishing the University of Mississippi. And then I went on to pursue my PhD at LSU. And thanks to Dr. Isaiah Warner and Zakiel Wilson, who were actually able to recruit me, and I was able to mentor under him. And if you can see his resume, he was the pivotal moment for me as a mentor to say, if not me, then who? When he graduated over 67 PhDs, when he won every award known in the areas of STEM, especially in his discipline. So he really opened the doors for hundreds of African Americans and more to be able to obtain a PhD, to get a high quality education. So again, he really opened the door for me. It's like, if not me, then who? So with my undergraduate at Ole Miss and then my LSU, to say what motivated me is my mentors who opened the doors for me that always wanted me to be able to open the doors for someone else. Like I wanted to open doors for others, just like someone has done for me. So that continually motivated me as I pursued and went on and graduated with my PhD and to my postdoc as being one of the first from my areas to go to actual national laboratories, especially in my whole entire family, where I went from understanding solid state to nanomaterials to device fabrication. So that continued motivated me to now start building an empire to where I can actually help others achieve their undergraduates, their graduates, their PhDs. And that's why I went on and started my research group here, where I have postdocs, I have techs, I have undergraduates in all different disciplines to be able to help constantly push me. So throughout my entire STEM development, the goal for me was to find opportunities, take action, and remain resilient in the face of failure. And if you constantly repeat this over and over and over again, it's called consistency. If you always continue to exude consistency, you will achieve your goal. And that's one of the models that I always like to continuously share. So again, what motivated me? My key takeaways in my career is to collaborate and network, open doors for others, always do excellent work, continue to drive for success, and don't discount your effort at all. Express your accomplishments. Express your accomplishment is not bragging, and always continue to grow your expertise. I believe in the growth mindset, and I believe as each one reach one, and we'll be able to change the whole narrative and continue to grow, especially in this area of STEM and in entrepreneurship. So that leads me to my next phase throughout my motto is developing and starting my own company, which is sentiment on bridging the divide. So how to effectively go from the underrepresented to the representative in academics and professionalism. So throughout my whole STEM career, this is one of the things that resonated with me very heavily, which is to educate, elevate, empower, and engage. And if we will always do this within our communities, within STEM, with each other, we will constantly keep excelling and keep opening doors for others. So that's the motto of our company. And that's our endeavors that we seek to go after too with all our clients. So in Bridging the Divide, what we focus on heavily is we have our clients, which are a lot of HBCUs, MSIs, TCUs, and industry, and we help build capacities, business acumen, and infrastructure through innovation, partnership, and strategy to help increase STEM education and business. That is the whole narrative and motivation of E4 Power Consulting. We want to be this bridge to be able to provide the increase in STEM education and business. So I'm only showing some of the key leaders, but we have a pretty big team. But who we are, we're passionate, accomplished professionals that form an eminent cadre to innovate and inspire curious and inspiring and like-minded individuals to achieve new education and professional heights. We have over 10 years experience in federal contracts, program management, business acumen. So we are trying to get this wealth of knowledge to be able to change the narrative. Our overall mission goal is to bridge the gap in infrastructure, capacity building, and business acumen by shifting the paradigm by intentionally building the bridge from the underrepresented to the represented through our core principles. And reason I take a second to just say the underrepresented to the representative is basis of my whole entire life. I was the first in my family here. I was the first in my family to do this. I was the first in my class to do this. So it's again going from the underrepresented to the representative to show that it can be done. And also now, instead of just being one representative, we need more. So that is our overall mission and what we're trying to accomplish. And how do we do this? It's several different things that we offer, from comprehensive awareness strategy to program and consortium management to partnership development and workforce and curriculum development. And we have different pillars of each category, but we provide business acumen. We provide grant writing assistance in development and implementations. We also do assessment, evaluation, and mentorship, as well as seminars and workshops. So we actually teach classes. That's one of the fun things we like to do. And basically, we started this because we saw several things, and this is just an example of the gap between MSIs and HBCUs versus PWIs. And we wanted to be able to help fill in the gap between the student ratio, as well as the time restrictions, lack of expertise, the lack of staff and workforce development. So really building capacity in the institutions and in our clients' space. So overall, we have a lot of current partnerships and opportunities that we have been doing. This is just a few of the schools that we're working with. I think I have a bigger slide later that shows you some of the things that we have accomplished. Like one of the things is that we go give workshops, and I put this title out there because we just recently gave this workshops on navigating microaggressions in academia and beyond. It was a really good talk and seminar. It was scheduled to go an hour. It went up going 3 hours because it was so invigorating and eye-opening opposed to the discussions that were happening. So this is where we're at today. Like, we have a wealth of current partnerships and clients that we have helped. We have applied or secured over 50 million in grant funding, over 15 workshops, seminars at all levels of employment. So we've really done a really good job in growing and helping bridging the gap in several of our clients and institutions. So with that, I would like to welcome any questions and any feedback at all.
Thank you so much, Dr. Treadwell. Hopefully I can speak on all the behalf of the other ambassadors that we enjoyed your presentation so much. I would like to welcome again the ambassadors, Hope, Joy, Savannah, and Moria. We have a couple questions for you. I'll start off with the questions. First off, what would you say was some advice that helped you keep your motivation throughout school and through your course in pursuing your career?
So one of the biggest motivation is my surroundings. And I think sometimes we don't look enough at what's to the left and to the right of us. There's so many times where I was the only person in my class in so many institutions, workshops, seminars, conferences. And that right there actually opened my eyes to, okay, I know I'm on the right path. If you dare to be different, if you dare to achieve new heights, you have to be courageous enough to stand out on your own. And I'm not saying it's always good. I'm not saying it's always nice and friendly or warm-hearted. I'm not saying it's not a struggle. However, that's when you know you're in new waters and uncharted territories to be able to accomplish something good.
That's an amazing.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you go.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have a question. Hearing you say you grew up in a small town was very interesting for me because I was watching this TV show, Friday Night Lights, and there's this black football player, and he grows up in a super small town. And one of the issues he had is because he was only around certain people, a lot of them wanted to they weren't the best options as friends, and he had to like grow from them. Tell me your experience with figuring out who to surround yourself around, just being around people who uplift you, and what did you do to kind of stem away from the people who wanted to do the opposite?
Oh, absolutely. My advice throughout every phase of your career, life, and opportunities, please always evaluate who you're hanging around. And not saying, not to down anybody as far as, their quality or whatever, but you got to have like minded people to be able to achieve the goals and help motivate you, because they're going to actually steer your motivation and goals based on who you're hanging around. So I say, and I tell this advice every 3 to 5 years, you reevaluate where you are and who you're with. So if you do it every 3 to 5 years, you should accomplish something great within every 3 to 5 years. High school is 3 to 5 years. College, 3 to 5 years. PhD, 3 to 5 years. And it should constantly change as you go, because your goal is going to constantly change. Your achievement is going to constantly change. And for you to achieve new things, you're going to have new surrounding and people around you to be able to advocate for you and be able to help motivate you to also to get it. And then that's the other thing. As you constantly reevaluate and change, if they don't accept your change, that means they also don't accept you to grow. So as soon as you look at it like that standpoint, you have to say, this person don't have the best interest for me, because they're not motivating me. They're telling me that I shouldn't be doing something. So that kind of gives you an eye opening right there as far as the answer.
So where would you say? I mean, I think of you as someone who is very accomplished. And when we become accomplished, sometimes it's hard to say what's next. So what's your 3 to 5 year goal? Where would you see yourself in 3 to 5 years?
So the 3 to 5 years is my 3 to 5 years is my goal is to be able to employ 50 to 100 people that just looks like me, and be able to have a pillar in every state to be able to bridge the gap in what I'm trying to do. So, and that's the thing. That's the thing when you say is from an accomplishment standpoint, every time you have a goal, you want to make an impact. There are so many impacts that we can make that you can set new goals for everything you want to achieve. And I look at the collar and I look at the ambassadors here. You can name some of the things that you face already. You be like, you know what? I don't want X, Y, and Z to see what I've experienced. Now I got a new goal. I got something I want to change. I got something I want to make somebody aware of, so it doesn't happen.
I love that.
I want to bring it back to the first question. What are some tips for managing your time better in school? Because it can be a struggle.
It is definitely a struggle, and I'm actually gonna answer two ways, because I heard the social media comment earlier. So I'm actually gonna bring up social media. Um, Social media could be good and bad. Absolutely. I'm more on the bad route. I do have social media, but I'm more on the bad route. Um, Social media has allowed us not to talk to each other even more. Social media has allowed us to stop communicating and find like-mindedness, where you rather connect with somebody that's 20 states away opposed to somebody that's right next door. So we're not even building camaraderie within our own place. So one of the things about that is social media helping you achieve your goal, or is it adding another distraction to what you're doing? No matter if you pick up a hobby, no matter if you pick up this, because everything will take time for what you want to achieve and what goal and impact you want to do. So if you really look at that from a time management standpoint, look at how much time that you're putting into yourself as far as how you want to grow and achieve what you want. And if you do this calculation and break down your time, you'd be like, oh, I spent 3 hours on this all the time when I know I could have been, I could have got a whole week ahead or 5 days ahead. So you can manage your time a little bit better. So the trick about managing your time, or one of the key success, is evaluate where you're putting your time at and how much of that is resonating towards your goal.
That makes
I think that's really awesome. I've never actually, this is more of a comment than a question, but I never really thought of it that way, because sometimes I'll see like my weekly report of like my hours, and it's like, oh, 6 hours isn't bad. But if you see where most of those hours are going to, it's like, oh, that's a waste of time. So I think you definitely saying how that's helping you, like, is it helping you? Is it benefiting you? Or is it really hurting you? Definitely says a lot. And so I definitely have some work to get on. I'm not perfect, but it helped me definitely see.
When I asked you about your goals, you said you were looking to employ around 50 to 100 people. Is that what you said?
Yep.
So if you had to pick your like a perfect person to employ, what are 3 traits that specific person would have to have, or that you would want them to have? Because as someone who wants to get employed one day and be very successful, I want to know what traits successful people look for.
For me, and this is an off the wall answer, but this is how I run my research laboratory. This is also how I run my company. I only look for 2 traits, and I look for open mindedness and work ethic. I don't care about smarts. I don't care about all the other things, because if you have those 2 things, I do think hard work can also, you can get the same level of someone that's a genius any day. I think studies have shown it, people have shown it. Open mindedness is you'll be able to learn and follow directions and be able to elevate your own performance as you're open mindedly taking in information that experts or people with experience are giving you. So I do the same thing for my undergrads, graduates who come work in my lab. They were like, hey, I got to come and know everything in your lab. I was like, no, if you know everything in my lab, then I don't need you. I want you to come so I can give you what I have so you can go and elevate it somewhere else.
That makes sense.
I love that answer. Open mindedness is so important, and I think sometimes we forget that, like, we think we have an open mind, then we really just like a situation comes up and we're like, wait a minute, like, and then we learn how to have it after the situation. But if we start to live life, wake up every day with that open mind, I think we can get more out of it. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to elaborate on Hope's question. I saw in your presentation that you're working with HBCUs. I'm planning to transfer to FAMU, which is one of the HBCUs on your slides. What are you doing with the HBCUs? Like, what are you what are you what are
What am
you
I,
doing?
so in particular, what I'm doing for HBCUs, I want HBCUs to grow, and I want all over 100 to achieve all new rankings as far as status. So if you have a very good interest in FAMU, this is one of the key points about my slides and one of the key things about our motto. You can definitely call me or email me, and we can set up a meeting next week. That's the doors we should be opening for each other. Those are the connections we should be making for each other. So, hey, we can find a way to get your internship education paid for. Those are the things we should be looking for. So specifically what we're doing with HBCUs is we're helping them write proposals, we're helping them write grants, we're helping them build their curriculums inside and out, workforce development, business acumen. We're trying to help them grow in capacity to where they can actually give people such as yourself more opportunities and a worthwhile free education to be able to excel more.
Do you have a laboratory there?
At FAMU.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have a laboratory there, but I work with several. I'm not even a few, but a lot of them, professors there who have laboratories in various disciplines. So what we do is we help and evaluate their grant proposals to be able for them to offer more scholarships or opportunities to do research in lab or to go off to conferences and those types of things. So honestly, I just left FAMU a couple of days ago.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
I have a question for Dr. Treadwell. So could you clarify for me first? You said in your slides that you were one of the first Black men to receive which
First degree. So in history, which we've been searching for at the University of Mississippi, we think there's only 2 to 3 who's ever received a BS chemistry degree from the University of Mississippi. So we're trying, the record books are not always that good. So I'm definitely top 3. For a while, I thought it was number 1, but then we found one, so we don't know when he got his either. So I'm definitely in the top. But that's the thing. At this day and age, given where we are, and we still only have 3 at that type of institution where majority of Mississippi is still, you could say we have a high Black population.
Mm-hmm.
It's still,
pretty good. Congratulations, first. And secondly, how did because it's such a high achievement, was there anyone who was jealous or anyone who tried to hold you back during your process of you trying to elevate yourself, and how did you deal with that if there was?
Oh, absolutely. That's the thing. I think I heard earlier about mental health and microaggressions. look at it this way, and this is like I said, this is in my talk. So if anybody want me to come give a talk, we can always discuss it. This is one thing in my talk. If you want to exceed, you're going to face microaggressions. Every level, you're going to be a step above someone. Every time you elevate in achievements, you now develop a new pool that's beneath you. And not saying that they're not good. I'm talking about from a rankings of achievement standpoint. Like if you graduate from high school and you're now undergrad, now all the past high school people are under you, right? Same way if you go grad. Same way if you get a professional degree. So you develop a new pool where someone can look at you and be like, oh, I can't believe she got there. I can't believe he got there. Or I just can't believe they must have got there because of X, Y, and Z. So you develop a new pool where you're going to face microaggressions. You're going to face people that, or different people that are going to challenge your mental health in different ways. So in my presentations and what I preach is you have to find mitigations around how you deal with microaggressions and mental health, because if you do not, it'll also stop you from achieving, because you'll be like, well, I don't want to. Like one of the biggest things I showed at the end of my slide is we do the microaggressions and everything else. We think sharing our achievements is bragging.
Mm.
It's not. Because if you don't advocate for yourself, who's going to?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't put in your scholarship package that you've achieved X, Y, Z, why would I pick you then? If you can't even tell me what you've accomplished, why would I pick you? So,
I love that answer. Your answers are actually extraordinary. They're different than what most people say. Most people say the like the quota, you know. But your answers, when you, especially when you said you look for someone open minded, I love that because I think a lot of us as this generation students who are slowly going into the workforce are thinking, oh, we have to know this, and this, and this. But in reality, we want to work with people who want us to have an open, expansive mind because that's when the creativity starts. And what I also loved is that you achieved all those degrees and kind of placed it into an entrepreneur route. Like, can you say, tell me one thing, because I want to be an entrepreneur myself. Can you describe what an entrepreneur needs, like the package they need to be successful?
the, the biggest package I've learned thus far in being an entrepreneur is my first thing about being an open mind is the biggest one, because you're going to now learn not only your current expertise, but now you got to go learn the business side. You got to go and learn the
Yeah.
structure side. You got to go say, and you have to be open enough to learn it to be able to thrive in your business. Because say for instance, you're like, hey, I got this great product. I don't care if it's hair, I don't care if it's STEM, I don't care what it is. If you don't go learn the business side, you now open up a big vulnerability where you will fail.
Mm-hmm.
So you now have to be open enough to say, like, okay, I might not like numbers as much, but I need to go learn this now. I need
Right.
to go do this now. And that's the thing. If we have this open mindset, we're always able to grow. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're always able to grow, you constantly give yourself tools to succeed.
And
I
as
hear
someone who does have a disability in math, I was actually talking with my science professor about, my entrepreneurship journey. And I told her, I was like, because she was concerned about, where I was in my math state. And I told her, I was like, I might be, a little bit behind, but one thing for certain is I can learn anything I put my mind to. Anything I want to learn, like I will learn. So I think I love when you said like open mindedness, because I don't really see myself as behind. I see it as another opportunity to like challenge myself, make myself grow, and become even more of a competitor between everybody else.
Oh, absolutely. Like my motto is there's no problems. You only
Yeah.
have to find solutions. So I don't care if it's a disability. I don't care. It's a
Hmm.
solution. Because what
Hmm.
it gives you now is another way to look at things or go around things or handle things or be able to absorb things and apply things a different way.
Right. 100%.
I loved listening to you talk today.
Thank
And
you so much.
yeah,
This was awesome.
this was like like how to be adversely TED Talk. That's how I feel. And I think that you look at adversity or whatever challenge as a step. And I think we looked at as steps sometimes as society as something that we have to work to get up. But the way your mindset is like, oh, this is my chance to level up. Let's do it. Like, you know what I mean? I love that. I think that's so, something a mindset I want to adapt and continue to use in my journey.
Thank you so much, Dr. Treadwell, for not only your inspirational slides, but as well as your talk with us. I enjoyed the questions. I think our ambassadors also have some awesome questions too. They were very informative. So thank you so much for your time. Before I turn it over to Savannah for this month's STEM Adventure, we have a word from our sponsor, Lockheed Martin.
Every day at Lockheed Martin, we are creating the future. When did I decide to become an engineer? Where I grew up in my village, we had a lot of interaction with nature. So I was always fascinated by the flight of the hummingbird. Seeing this marvelous aerodynamics of the hummingbird gave me this general idea that I wanted to be working on the ability to control things that flew. I've had this long running curiosity, I still do today, of asking the question, why is this the way it is? Are there ways to improve what it does? And in fact, those are the same questions we ask every day at Lockheed Martin. That's why my colleagues come to work saying, this is great, we've done all these great things, we've built all these great systems, how could we make it better? And how could we make it better together? Lockheed Martin's engineers and scientists are at the forefront of innovation. Everything from AI and machine learning to hypersonics to directed energy. Individually, all these are really critical capabilities that we need to develop. To actually deliver something ahead of ready to our customers, it takes pulling these pieces together into an overall mission capability. What we are doing here matters to our nation, to our nation's security.
Hi, everyone. My name is Savannah Mitchell, and I am a junior in high school. Now, I'd like to tell you guys what's been going on with school because, I haven't had an update in like a month. So I'm looking forward to, there's 2 more months left of school. So summer, first of all. And second of all, I'm looking forward to ending the APs, ending, on a good note, the Regencies. I'm just waiting. But yeah, that's kind of what's been going on in school so far. I've started track, actually. I've done track, so that's new as well. And yeah, I'm just ready for the end of school. Summer's on the way. Next, I'd like to thank Mimi and all the ambassadors for the insightful interview with Dr. Treadwell. But today's, we're going to be looking at the life of Dr. Patricia Bath. Patricia Bath was the first Black female doctor to obtain a medical patent, as well as the first woman to chair an ophthalmology residency program in the U.S. Patricia was freshly out of medical school in the late 60s. She was working as an intern in Harlem Hospital and then at an eye clinic at Columbia University when she noticed the differences in vision problems between the largely Black patient population and in the largely white population at Columbia. She observed that blindness and glaucoma were considerably more common amongst Black people because of the lack of access to good health medical care. And for anyone who doesn't know, glaucoma is like, it could cause like a multitude of problems. It can cause blindness at an old age. It can cause your vision to like deteriorate. It's really bad. So this propelled her pursuit into improving accessibility for eye care for everyone. Dr. Bath has had a particular interest in the research of eyes and laser science. Despite university policies pushing for equality and forbidding discrimination amid the early 70s, she still experienced many cases of sexism and racism as a professor at both UCLA and Charles R. Drew University. Her interests and research continued in Europe, where her work was finally accepted. In the beginning of the 80s, early 80s, technology to remove cataracts. Dr. Patricia Bath envisioned a method of using laser eye technology to remove cataracts, but this idea was ahead of its time, so unfortunately it took a long time for scientists to perfect. Once the laser phaco probe was finalized, millions of people worldwide were able to restore their vision, including an individual who had been blind for over 30 years. Now, I'm going to tell you guys as to why this STEM inventor is particularly important to me, because as you guys can see, I have glasses. So everything that she's been fighting for, working for, affects me. So her work has led to me having a better life, me having good vision, and, you know, plenty of others. And also, not to undervalue the fact that she is a Black woman who is doing this, which is very inspiring and shows representation for her people and everything else. So, lastly, I'd just like to say, students, we hope all of you are enjoying learning more about STEM careers at today's BEYA Stars and Stripes STEM Career Day, streamed live from STEM City, USA. Next month, we will share another inventor who changed the way that we use technology today. Let's take a quick commercial break to learn more about STEM City, USA.
What if you could build your own city? A place where every child can find nurturing people to help them achieve their full potential. A place where every adult can access job training support. Where health education is abundant. Where social justice ruled the land. A place without limitations. Welcome. You have arrived at STEM City, USA. It is what every city should be. A safe and trusted community where you find people and resources to help you become everything you are and beyond. STEM City is unlike anything you have ever experienced. It is a digital twin of the world around you, only better. STEM City is about energy and soul renewal. It is more than a digital world. You can almost feel the power of live cultural events, music, and theater. STEM City promises a better future for children, with caring mentors and hands-on activities, with dedicated tutors to support our youth. STEM City is your passport to a healthy lifestyle, with weekly events addressing our community's many issues. STEM City is your financial well-being, with helpful information on wealth management, career advancement, job training, and so much more. STEM City is the community you deserve. It is the city where your dreams can come true. STEM City USA, a place in the sky that is accessible to all who reach for the stars.
That was STEM City USA, our 2D metaverse. Last month, we shared more about the AI-powered library Call-in AI, which is open in STEM City USA. You can interact with our archives and ask questions to locate primary sources from decades of different medias. Don't forget to visit stemcity.com and enter the Education and Discovery building. Then enter the library and sign up for your digital library card. Next, we'll turn our attention to Mimi to deliver her signature segment, My Favorites, Mimi's Moments.
Thank you so much, Hope. Thank you so much, Savannah. Awesome. You guys did great. Today for Mimi's Moments, we're going to be kind of updating my school life, but as well as some advice that kind of helped me through my senior year. Right now, we are in our fourth quarter and we're pretty much wrapping up for the school year. I'm officially done in a month, May 31st, and graduation will be sometime in June, so I'm really excited. I can't lie, senior year has definitely been a roller coaster of emotions and events. And I think something nobody really tells you about when you enter senior year is that senioritis really hits really hard. It gets a little crazy. But I can definitely say without the help of some of my peers and teachers, I wouldn't be the senior Mimi, in a sense, who I am today. I remember at the beginning of the school year, especially in first and second quarter, I was extremely anxious about potentially what school I was getting into, if I was making the right decision. And I was really debating, like, I know college was something I would like to pursue, but what if I didn't get into the school of my dreams? And for quite a while between those months, it was a constant confliction because of the fear, the unknown, but as well as, what if I don't get in? And what if things fall apart? And, what will essentially become of me if nothing really goes of how I envisioned it? Because you kind of really feel like everything just needs to fall out and work out in the right place. And, you don't know what's happening because this potentially college, especially too, is out of your control. And so I ended up talking to a really good teacher of mine, and he runs a peer class, which really helps with taking care of your mental health and making sure that students around you know that there's help accessible, not just from teachers, but from specialized peers like us. And so he potentially asked me the question, okay, well, what if you don't get into the school of your dreams? What happens if, you get denied or you get waitlisted? What do you do? And I was like, immediately, you transfer to a different school. And he's like, okay, that's great. What about if you really feel like you transfer to another school, but it's not really your thing? Maybe college isn't your thing at all. What do you do then? And he's like, there's community college, maybe taking a gap year and doing an internship. There's so many other options that is there and that is open out for you. There's no need to be hooked and essentially have that tunnel vision on just one potential outcome. And that really helped me see that it's okay that things are out of your control, and it's okay that not everything will work out the first time. There is always so many other opportunities around you, and there's so many other options that is provided for you. You just have to make sure to go out and find them. And it also helped me realize that there's so many other people around me that's not just teachers that care for my well-being. Like, one person especially that has really been my rock and my sense of motivation is my mom. She has helped me through all my ups and downs through senior year and has shaped me to the person I am today. So some advice I would like to end you guys with is it's okay when things are out of your control, and if nothing really ends out how you pictured it, because there's not only so many other options, but when you have people that care about you and people that really want the best for you, they will help you to that goal and that outcome that you are looking for. So it's okay that you might not know what's happening right now, and it's okay if you fail the first time, because everything always finds its place in a sense, and everything will always work out like a puzzle piece in a sense. They all click. So thank you so much for joining me with Mimi's Moments, and we will pass it over to Lieutenant General Crawford. Thank you.
Well, Mimi, thanks so much to you and the other ambassadors, and also hats off and many thanks to Dr. Treadwell for sharing his thoughts. What yet another in a long line of insightful discussions. So I really truly believe that our future competitive advantage as a nation, and I deeply believe this, is really going to be heavily influenced by our willingness to continue to invest in the next greatest generation of leaders. Platforms like what we're doing today. There are going to be many challenges in life, but I truly believe that the great equalizer is always going to be awareness that leads to opportunity. So there was great awareness and insight provided today. What you heard here today were stories about, so we talk a lot about technology, but today was really about investing in self and being willing to invest in self. And specifically, some of the things, as I took a lot of notes here, but some of the things that I took away was, number one, it's okay to not be okay when it comes to your mental health. Dr. Treadwell talked about his mentors, and he talked about commitments, and he specifically said, if not me, then who, when it comes to being accountable. The other piece that had to do with accountability I thought was interesting was this recognition that when you are successful, that there's a responsibility that goes with that when he said each one reach one. And then last but certainly not least, and I'd add this when it comes to mental health, there's a vulnerability that's associated with expressing concerns and taking actions when it comes to your mental health. But the key point here is acknowledging your vulnerability is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength. And so again, until next time, again, this has been yet another great session. Be confident in who you are and that you belong. Be intellectually curious about the world. And finally, be passionate about following your dreams. Thanks again to everyone for another great event and for sharing your insights. And then with that said, until next time, over to you, Maury.
Thank you, Lieutenant General Crawford. And thank you to all who joined us for Career Day. Thank you to our Career Day speaker, Dr. LaRico Treadwell, for joining us today. And please remember to visit STEMcityUSA.com for more BEYA STEM Career Day segments. We would like to give a very special thanks to our BEYA STEM Career Day sponsor, Lockheed Martin. They are known for their groundbreaking work in aerospace, arms, defense, information security, and technology around the world. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and join us for the next Career Day on May 11th, 2024, where we'll feature even more STEM professionals, college students, and high school standouts. I'm looking forward to it. See you next time. This is Moria Bowman signing off.
I work at Lockheed Martin as a cybersecurity systems engineer, and I've been at Lockheed for 19 years. The role of cybersecurity engineering has a tremendous impact on the mission to deliver secure systems to our customers. I have 3 children. My kids are the center of my universe. I would not be able to continue working effectively as a working parent if it had not been for the flexibility in our work schedule and the flexibility of our leaders to help me exercise a flexible work schedule. One of the reasons why I've been at Lockheed Martin for 19 years is because I think the culture and the values that we demonstrate really reflect my own personal values. Performing with excellence, acting with integrity, those are steadfast values that we talk about day to day. I have seen great changes in the diversity within our company. 19 years ago, there weren't a whole lot of women in leadership, so the few that we had were highly coveted. Today, I'm proud to say that we see quite a few women in leadership roles. The advice that I would provide to young women and girls who are interested in STEM is go for it. You can do it. Don't let anyone stop you.